The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. This is Cowboys Storylines with Nick Eatman.
What is up, everyone? We are back. We are back here at Cowboys Storyline. I'm Nick Eatman here, Oxnard, California. Can't believe we did it. Chris Beam pulled it off. He got us back on the air. We're the first show of this podcast lineup this year, and we're so excited to do it. I know you guys are chomping at the bit to get back at it, and we didn't even make this decision until like this morning. We figured out we could do it. I got on to the Twitter Storyline group community chat there, and I said, guys, I need you guys to pull through. And what do you know, our first two callers, I wouldn't expect anything less of these first two that jumped right on and said, I got you. Hopefully it'll be like this for the next hour or so, and we'll see how the calls go, and we'll keep it going. But this is new for me because if you remember last year when we kicked this show off, we didn't have phone lines. And so now we kind of added that to the mix. We got two lines just like we normally do. We'll see how it goes. But my guy MacGyver over here, Chris Beam, was able to get it knocked out. I'm so excited for that. So, and excited just to be back here talking Cowboys football and start training camp, even though they don't practice until tomorrow, and the first pads don't even come on until almost a week on Tuesday. Haven't had the opening press conference yet. All these things, but we're here. That's the thing. We're here. You can tell we're here. I'm about to put these shades on because that's how bright it is when we get to training camp. But, man, it's just so fun to be able to talk about because nothing's really happened yet. And we'll talk about all the storylines and the people that are here, the players that are not here. But still, this is what we're expecting to happen here in the next few days, and we can talk about all that kind of good stuff. So let's do what we do here. Let's get this thing kicked off. Are we ready to go to the calls here? Let's go right to the call here. Let's start off. Irene in Virginia. Irene, what's up?
Hey, Nick. Hey, Chris. Hey, all of our Storyline fans. I love it. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your time off.
Definitely enjoyed it, but also enjoying being back as well. If that could be two things can both be true.
Absolutely. Sometimes you need a refresher, and you got it, but you're ready to go. That's what it's there for.
There we go.
So hey, I gotta set the record straight. Listen to the last show. Dylan is the man behind getting our Cowboys Storyliners community going. So I just wanted to make sure that I was like listening. I'm like, oh man, we did talk about it, but
did I give you the credit?
He's the man. Yeah, because I reached out to Chris and I was like, hey, let him know, let him know, but. So I got most of the credit on that. I think I got all the credit on that.
Co-founders, because he might have done it, but I think you're the one that's originated of really trying to get these people together into a community. He officially did it. You kind of had the concept of it, and he took it to the next step. Either way, this is
exactly. Yeah.
Like
he's the executor.
Yeah.
So two things. So for me, I'm always most curious about injury progression. So obviously the big two for me are Diggs and Overshown, because it's like, okay, flash in the pan or something bigger.
Yeah.
Hopefully something bigger. And hopefully the injury's been, rehab long enough at this point that he gets to just have a nice full season and do well.
And then Overshown or Diggs?
Overshown.
Okay.
I mean, Diggs is more than a flash in the pan, right?
Yeah,
right.
But
yeah, I hope Diggs returns to form. Always curious to see how long that takes. Hoping that since it was early, it's not, 10 weeks. It's, 2 weeks maybe. Give him some grace, but because we need him for sure. And I love to see that combo for, Diggs and Bland and even Lewis and see how that goes. And then for kind of just, how I love to be like, kind of feel like I'm in the building. If you don't mind kind of describing like how it is getting to camp and, travel and your stay and all that. So that would be great. And I will hang up so others can call. One thing. Beam, I don't know if you know this, but I could hear Travis is number 2. I could hear you guys talking for some reason. So that's new. So in case that matters to you. Okay. But I'll hang up and listen so that other people can call in. Thank you.
Well, that might. Thanks, Irene. Appreciate it. That might be something we're gonna go through. We work through. If that's our biggest problem, I guess that's not really a huge one. But thanks for letting us know. We're still. This is new to us too on how this works with the phone lines and the shows and stuff like that. So thank you for doing that. And we'll get that squared away as well. All right. To answer your questions, you know, I've heard this since I first was on the beat 25 years ago, 26 years ago. It was like, every injury is different. You know, you can't just say this guy had this, so it's going to be the same. Recovery is different. And here's a recent example of that is ACLs from Terrence Steele and Trevon Diggs. I mean, Diggs' injury, you know, it happened in week 3 of the season, and he's going to probably go on PUP. That's something that they have to announce here, which means it's physically unable to perform list. He still counts to your 90 roster. Actually, it'll be 91 when they fill it out because of their exemption that they have. But it'll be, you know, he still counts. He can do most of the things. He can't just be at practice. He can be at meetings. He can be, and maybe some of the walkthrough stuff. But he just can't be, like, obviously in there in practice. And he's not ready to be. You know, he still has some work to do there. So that's going to be one thing that will change. I was wondering if they were going to mow while we did the show. That's awesome. Or whatever we got going on back here. But we expected that to happen. Mo Claiborne back here doing his thing. Now, the thing about Diggs is that, you know, he's not necessarily ready, but you got to remember what the injury was. ACL injury. When? In practice. So they're not really trying to push him back just yet. He's got some work to do. Cleveland's the target to play in that Cleveland game for sure. Overshown, I think Overshown will be ready to go. He's not going to be on PUP. He was injured, obviously, in training camp / preseason game in Seattle. I think he'll be ready to go and back at it. And your question about training camp, you know, I mean, they could do a whole show on that. But you know, we charter out one big charter. Now, a lot of people are here to start with. I mean, they're as far as you know, trainers, operations crew, the equipment staff. A lot of people just help set this whole thing up. You know, what people don't know is that this complex here at Oxnard River Ridge complex is 6 tennis courts. And so this is actually all on top of 6 tennis courts, and that's where, you know, where the press conference will be, is where our work is, a lot of VIP stuff like that. So it'll be in this whole area, and they've been doing just like this. So this is kind of our setup. It's like an apartment complex, really, is what it's like. And you know, everybody has pretty decent space here, and the weather is beautiful, and that's why they come out here. It's a golf course right out here, and so the fans can come out here for free and watch. I don't know if that answered all your question. Like I said, I mean, there's all kinds of nuances about it, so we can talk about it in while we're here the whole time. If you got questions about camp specifically, we can talk about it. All right, let's go to Travis in San Antonio. Travis, what's up?
Chris and Nick, what's going on? Welcome back.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Working. Gonna go to the gym here in a little bit, but saw the tweeted you back. I don't know if you caught the clever pun about your break.
I didn't hear that about the break. I'm not even hearing you that well. Travis, what do you got? What do you got on your mind?
I got you. I can hear you.
Okay.
So basically, I just want to welcome you guys back. I don't have a ton, but I wanted to, kind of get your best guess on. I've already seen 2 fights. Kadarius Toney and George Karlaftis, and then Derek Stingley and Dalton Schultz got into it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see what your early favorite on camp was.
Yeah.
My early favorite is Overshown and Ferguson. And then I'll hear you on that. And then I wanted to see, we've been talking in the group, we're definitely going to get a group together to come out next year for 2025, so that's going to be a thing. And then also, we've been talking about contracts. I know it's been the big 3 contracts that we've been talking about, but I wanted to see what you thought about, because we got further into it, Dylan and I and the whole group, about obviously we have the 3 big contracts to do, but then quickly, like behind in the background, you have Bland, you have Ferguson, you have Tyler Smith, who's not going to be cheap. He's going to be probably a reset or top 5 at least. So there's some sneaky contracts of guys that aren't first round picks that are also coming up. So I just wanted to see how much you thought that's going to factor in as well. Going into this next offseason.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say congrats and welcome back, and let's go.
All right, thanks, Travis. Appreciate it. Good stuff. As for the fights, I mean, I don't know about Overshown. Always seemed like he's pretty happy. I mean, he tore his ACL and he was out for the season, and he was like, just his attitude was so positive about everything. I mean, these are competitive players, and you can't play linebacker and not have something to you, And so, I'm not saying he didn't have that dog in him, but I don't see that as a prediction, for him. But then again, those guys surprise you all the time. Biotish was a pretty nice guy too, and he fought last year a lot. So it's hard to predict those, Schultz doesn't really surprise me. But who knows? Who knows how that happens? I mean, it'll be interesting to see if it's that kind of practice where it gets really tense like that. I wouldn't think it's early. It's usually later on. You're tired of hitting each other. You need to play someone else. You're tired of the same stuff over and over. That's kind of where these things kind of boil over to that point. So it's a little surprising to see him early in camp like that. Fights like that, unless it's another team, you can always predict that. If you're going to practice with another team, they're always going to fight. But that's typically where that is. All right, and I can't even remember your other question there. You had contracts. Last year, it's funny because last year this was kind of a thing where we talked about big contracts. Diggs was one of them, CD and Dak, and then before you know it, I think they did sign Diggs first, but then Steele got a deal and also Hooker got a deal. And but those guys were going to be free agents. The guys you mentioned, Ferguson, Bland, I think that's too early. Right now, we think they are going to be Tyler Smith too. We think that they are going to really demand a lot of money, and they probably will. But I don't think they jumped the gun on it too early, unless the deal's great for them. Unless the player says, "I'll do it, I'll sign that deal." Typically, doesn't happen like that. These agents are too good for all that. But that's typically how that kind of works. All right, let's sorry, I'm losing my Wi-Fi here. All right, next one is Lewis in Langston, Oklahoma.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Not much. I'm touching bases. Wanted to make sure I get on for the first time today, or for the first time started the new season. I don't really care about all the contract stuff. I kind of have faith that eventually that stuff is going to get done. So really, I think I might have missed Irene's call, and she asked about a bunch of injuries. So I'm kind of really more worried about not Trayvon, but I guess the big boy Mazy. How is he looking? Is he okay, or is he going to be on PUP when we start, or how's that going to go? And I ain't going to hold you too long because I know everybody wants to get on. So I'll go with that, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Lewis. Appreciate that. Mazy, I don't know. I can't tell you on that one. I've asked a couple of people, and I didn't get great answers there. I just get kind of a shrug. So I don't know. He wasn't around a lot this offseason to do the rehab work on his shoulder, and not as much as I think people would want him to be. So that's kind of where it is. Let's see. I know the quote that he said last year is getting kind of thrown out there again. I don't love football. It's like hitting people. Well, this is the time to hit people, but it's also the time to love football. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with Mazy. They need him. They need this draft class to be good. They need last year's class to step up and be good. It wasn't last year. They didn't get much of anything. They need that this year. This is their free agency. Their free agency is the 2023, 2022, maybe even 2021 draft class. The guys that haven't really stepped up and done because whatever the reason, whether they didn't have opportunity or what. But this is the time that they need to do. This is what they're banking on. When they look at what they did in the offseason, they said, we're letting some of these players go. We're gonna let the guys we have here. We already have it here. It's just like when you're at home and you're like, we're gonna eat out tonight. No, we have food here. We have food here and it's about to go bad. So let's eat it. Okay, let's eat this food and save some money, and let's see if we can get this done. And that's kind of the way it is. And he's in that group. Jalen Tolbert, Sam Williams, Sean Wright. The list goes on and on. I mean, these are the guys that they're counting on. So Mazy, I can't give you the answer how he's looking, and it's going to be a week before we really see how they're mixing it up with the pads on and all this. But I'll tell you this: they need him. They need him to actually do a really good job there. All right, let's go, Rob in Vegas. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Nick, here we go.
Here we go. What's up, man?
It's great to see you back.
All right, appreciate it. Awesome. Glad to be back. Glad you're with us.
Oh, definitely. The StoryLine family strong.
Yep.
So, Nick, let's be honest. Are you shocked that neither Dak or CD has been signed yet?
Not shocked by anything. There's no deadline to do this. They don't miss anything other than, CD's going to miss some time here, but Dak isn't. So I'm not shocked because I don't think the Cowboys consider that they're losing much. So, no, they usually deadline make deals. Stephen Jones has said it hundreds of times. I guess they're saying it again. Deadlines make deals. There is no deadline. So, no, I'm not shocked.
I don't know. I thought, the last show, I think Jefferson just signed. So we were like, okay, this is easy. Just copy that deal, maybe a little less. But it's like, what are they taking so long? And me personally, I want them to sign Dak first because, like I said, I think you need the top-notch quarterback if you're going to go with the top-notch wide receiver. And I don't know. What are you hearing about left tackle? To me, that's the most intriguing because we've seen this team struggle and Dak struggle when the guy protecting his blind side isn't very good. And I know they drafted Guyton.
Yeah.
What are you hearing about him? Because I really don't hear anything about him.
Yeah, I from what I hear is that they love what his upside. Obviously is why you drafted him and all that, and they think he's going to be good. Me personally, if Chuma Edoga starts against the Browns, I think we're all going to be worried in our own right, anyways. And I think if Chuma Edoga takes every snap at left tackle in preseason and training camp and then starts that game, I don't think he's going to be way better than what he is right now. I think he's kind of is what it is. But Guyton, I think, obviously as a rookie, can grow a lot. So we had a question on this in our 20 questions, like when does he take over? And I'm like, right the F now, like today.
Yes, absolutely.
Now. Because Dak wears a red jersey, which means don't hit me. Which means if Micah Parsons and Tank wear this guy out, it doesn't hurt you. Other than this guy's got to get better, he's got to keep going. But he's going to have to learn on the run. So learn on the run out here and be as ready as you can be for Myles Garrett. Because you're the future, you're the left tackle. He needs to start, and he needs to start right now. This is no you got to earn your spot. No, you're a first-round draft pick. Chuma Edoga hasn't earned the right to I'm the guy here. No. You're just a journeyman backup, and they need you at guard and tackle, and all that stuff's great. But Tyler Guyton, ready or not, should be the left tackle and just roll with it. And if he just can't handle it in the games and your quarterback's getting hurt, then you have to figure something out. But
and they could always move. They could always move Smith over.
They could. They don't want to, but they could if that works. And Bass could play guard or Hoffman, whoever. They could do that. But I think right now it's get Guyton better. Tyler Smith, he's smart as a whip. Put him at left guard. He's going to be teaching the center. He's going to be teaching the left tackle. That's why they want him there, and they can do that. But I think you get all those kinks out right now at training camp.
To me, it's the biggest question mark. I think the offense could be better than last year. It's a second year under McCarthy. Dak's coming off a great year. I think the offensive line has the ability to be bigger and stronger. I think Steele will be better. being, ACL now 2 years later. But you're right. Is BB? Are they still thinking BB's going to be the starting center, or is that really a competition?
I don't know. It's a competition. You talking about BB and Hoffman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a competition for sure. This is going to be tough though, because at center, this is where your continuity starts, at the O-line, right in the middle, at the core of your team. And so you want to get that done. And I actually asked Dak this question in the offseason. I said, is that a position battle that you want to be cleared up sooner than later, just from a continuity? And he said, not really, because you never know. You got to play with these guys anyways. You sometimes you have to play with it. So he said that didn't bother me if it's BB and Hoffman all the way to the end, because that means I have good rapport with both of them. So I thought that was an interesting answer there. And I think it'll be a battle. Every time I think about it, I think, yeah, BB, look at him. He's the guy. He'll learn. He's smart. He's going to figure it out. He'll be the starter. And then I think of Hoffman, and I think, he ain't going to lose it. Hoffman's,
no,
he's
definitely not going to give in.
So that's a good problem to have. It's real. I think it's going to be fun. And then Bass is just going to be quietly. He'll take a lot of guard snaps. I mean, Zach Martin's not going to get a ton. I hope not. And so he'll probably be really getting good at guard as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of good storylines for this camp.
This reminds me of something, Rob. Not to cut you off, I know you have another question, but how many times have we seen quarterbacks and backups or whatever in preseason, and they're just running for their life because the offensive line can't block, so you can't really evaluate anything? I think you're going to have a better chance to do that this year. I think you're going to have better players when Lance is there, maybe even Cooper Rush, and I think the O-line's going to be to the point where they can be pretty efficient there, and we can see a good sample size in preseason.
I totally agree. I think this offensive line has some of the better depth it's had in a long time. And I agree, nothing worse than watching preseason football.
Right.
As soon as they take the starters out, it's like, are you kidding me?
Right.
I don't think it'll be like the Bad News Bears. I think the offensive line will be good. And let's be honest, Trey Lance should look really good in the preseason. He's not a rookie young guy. He should look good, and so I'm excited. I think we're all excited. We got football back.
Exactly. Thanks for the call, Rob. I appreciate that. I'm going to keep this thing rolling. And you know what? That right there is such an important statement. That is what we do. As football fans, this is the part of the season where everybody has a little hope, and some more than others, and all that stuff, and your expectations high and low. And this is about your college team, your pro team, your high school team, whatever. That's what's so awesome about football, is that, and I see it on the show, and hear it on the show after the season. Like, we're done. This is it. I can't do this again. Can't put myself through this again. And then it's like, well, I'm done. I don't need to mess with this right now. We'll see how it goes. And then you start looking at the draft and free agency, and you get mad about free agency. You get mad about the offseason, and you're like, this team, And then training camp comes around, and then you're like, we're not so bad. Our roster looks pretty good, and, Dak had a good year. Whatever it is, and you just keep getting sucked back again. It's this vicious cycle that happens, and it sucks us back in. But that's football, and that's what I love about it. I'm that way. I'm cautiously optimistic about my Arkansas team, and the Cowboys. I think it's a good team. I mean, I understand that everyone's like, well, let's see what happens in the playoffs, but I don't. We can't function that way. Like, we don't have that luxury. We're talking about today, training camp. Who's here? Who's not here? That's what we're talking about, is who's not here. But that's what we're talking about right now. And so can't jump too far ahead. But as you said, to close it out, we're back. Football is back, and that's what's super exciting. All right, let's go to the next caller. It's Chris in San Angelo. Chris, my man, what's up?
Hey, Mr. Nick, as I live and breathe, welcome back, sir.
I love it. I don't know if you're quoting the movie Maverick there, but it's awesome. I think that line is in there 2 times, and I love it. As I live and breathe. What's up?
Hey, I'm doing well, sir. Glad to have you back. There's so many different directions I could go with this.
Go right down the
middle. I'm not going to talk. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. lost some depth on the defensive line. A lot of players walking, So my question is about, what do you think? I know I'm not even going to ask if there's pressure on Sam Williams, because there just is, because that's what it's come to.
Yeah.
Right? So with that being said, with them taking a look at him, how much preseason do you think he's going to get in, as far as since they are kind of, starting? I mean, they're depending on him big time. So how do you think they're going to treat him in the preseason?
That's a good question. I think a lot of that will kind of be determined by what we see in this first couple of weeks. I think what kind of step does it look like he's taking? Is he the guy? Is he and Micah meeting at the quarterback every play? Is he having that? And also, who's behind him? What's the backups look like? What do you want to see from there? But if Sam's got these days where, it's not so great here, and it's not so great there, and you need to see more consistency. Let's see what happens when the lights come on. Then maybe it is a situation where he does play a little bit. But that's a good question. He's one of those tweener guys that I think might play some. It just depends on who they're playing around him.
Right, and like I said, the fact is it would seem that they are kind of depending on him now with everything that's happened. So just wanted to get that in, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's he's right there on the fringe, and that's just going to come down to what do they do as their starters. I mean, if it's like this, it's like if you don't want to, on offense, you wouldn't play all your receivers and your running backs if you're not going to play your O-line. Or you're definitely not going to play your quarterback if you're not going to play your line, and the same could be said for defense. If you're going to make a commitment to the starters for a little bit, then he's in there. But I don't know if he goes longer than others, maybe, because like I said, I mean, he's still a player you want to see a little bit more out of. But you said this about pressure with him. He's asked for it. This is what he's been tweeting things. I mean, Micah's Twitter gets put out there a lot, but like. What about Sam? He's throwing some stuff out there that he's caged animal and let him out and all this stuff. Hey, you're out. Go attack. Go attack somebody. Not somebody, but go attack a quarterback. I mean, that's it. I mean, you've been asking for it. It's your spot. They didn't re-sign Dorrance Armstrong. They let Fowler go. Hey, it's up to you. So yeah, the pressure is there. I mean, but it's also a second-round pick. I mean, he's a second-round pick. That it's your time to play. So it's a good moment for him. Good opportunity. All right, let's go to David in Fort Worth.
Nick, what's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, I'm at the gym right now. I just mid-set, man. I just threw the dumbbells down. They hit some old lady on the foot. She punched me in the face. Regardless, I was calling in, man. I was trying my best to get in.
What are we throwing up there? What are we doing?
Oh, just something light, about 110s, 120s, something light.
On the dumbbells?
Yeah, dumbbell bench press.
Okay.
I'm a short fella, though, man. It don't got a long way to travel. I'm a short fella.
That's true. I mean, that's true. But I mean, I think when you say that, I think there's a sniff. Like, 120, 115. Light day. I love how you said light day. All right.
Something light.
Hey, yeah.
Don't ask for video evidence, though. Don't ask for video evidence.
I think weren't you the one that took a picture of in your closet of the that didn't sound good, but the picture of the StoryLine T-shirt.
That was me.
You work that mediums, don't you? You got that Shannon Gross, Isaiah stand back like yeah, I got it. Curls for the girls. I like it. Good stuff.
You know.
All right,
but no, man. Hey, I don't have a whole lot to contribute to the show. One thing that I do want to say is, while you were gone, I'm sure maybe you caught it, you saw it, but the community, we're still holding it down, man. We're having our groups and everything like that. We were talking a lot of talk about who's going to sign when and what's going to sign what and who deserves what. All I know is what we deserve. We deserve football, and it's back, and I'm pumped, and hey, that's as far as I can go.
David.
One thing that I will say. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me ask you, though, because if I let you go and then try to talk about it, I'll probably mess up the lingo and all that. So to talk about, it's on Twitter, X, whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the community. It's called Cowboys StoryLiners. And do you guys, would y'all do those chats? What do you call those things?
Yeah, so I'm not even really sure what it's called. It's like a space or something like that.
Yeah, spaces.
Dylan's the one who set it up. Irene is a mod or another admin on it.
Yeah.
And basically what we do is, and what I imagine is going to happen, Nick, is we're going to listen to the show, and some people aren't going to be able to get in. You know why? Because you're a popular guy, and it's a popular show. And if you can't get in, and if you can't come in, and you can't share your thoughts, come on over to X, come on over to Twitter, join the
like the after show, like the after party.
Yeah, absolutely what it is. And then we can get on there and we could talk crap about Nick, about how he's wrong, and he won't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So come on now, you guys.
Yeah, but remember, I'm a moderator too now. I can jump in on those too, and I'll be like, oh, really? Who's talking smack? No, I'm kidding. I mean, but that's true. I'm not right about stuff all the time either. I mean, like that's I say this all the time. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. It's not, it doesn't always. I mean, it's not always true. I mean, you guys aren't wrong. I'm not always right. It happens. I mean, but so I love that. I was able to join those spaces one time and jumped on with you guys for 20, 25 minutes or so. It was fun. I just wanted to throw that out there, you guys that aren't on it yet. If you're on Twitter, check out the StoryLine community and be a part of that. You guys talk about things all the time. Sometimes on Twitter. Sometimes you get on there. It's like a phone call, and it's really fun. A fun little chat for everybody.
Absolutely. I did have one quick question.
Sure.
Did the same guy who repaired Gallup's ACL, did he repair Diggs?
Probably, yeah.
I don't really know how it works. I wasn't sure if you did, because Gallup obviously just retired. A lot of people would argue that he wasn't the same guy after the surgery. Of course, that has a lot to do with your rehab and how you take care of yourself afterwards, and then of course the mental. But that's just something that kind of sent a little shiver down my spine.
Yeah, but
whenever I saw that.
What about Steele though? What about
No.
But Overshown.
Right, different. But a little bit of different. But Overshown, we're going to see. But different position though. Cornerback, man, you got to react. It's a lot more explosive, a lot more reactive.
100% true. I mean, the Cowboys got. I mean, I saw a story the other day. So it's John Stevens and Overshown, David Durden. I mean, they're like friends now, because they all got injury at the same time and they rehabbed together, and then they're all like really good friends, close friends, and we're going to see about all three of those guys too. So yeah, I mean, no injuries the same, and you mentioned that about Gallup. I was going to talk about that too. Gallup, I'm not super surprised really. I don't know if it was the injury or what, but it sounds like he's saying his heart really wasn't in it, and I could see that. It's something you could see. You always wanted to see a little bit more dog out of him. That wasn't him. That wasn't who he was. He was a really, really good guy, and sometimes your greatest asset could be your downfall. Sometimes a football player, but who knows? I mean, people retire and then unretire all the time, and who knows if that is the case? But we wish him the best.
All right, brother. Hey, I appreciate you taking my call. Hey, hope that calf's doing well, because I know you were a high-level athlete before the injury. Hope your calf is doing well. So hey, Storyliners on Twitter, you guys come join. We're gonna have a good time. Thanks, Nick.
All right, appreciate it. All right. So do we got another caller here? No, not yet. Yeah, we do. We do have one. All right, here we go. Hold on. High-level athlete. I don't know about that, man. Actually, I do know. False. Not the case. But I'll say this. I do have a different appreciation for the calf injury now. So when I keep hearing people like, Kevin Durant, get back. What's wrong with the calf? I'm like, hey, don't rush him, okay? I get it. It's calf injury, because those things lead to an Achilles injury if you don't get that thing back in time. But I do want him to get back on that dream team, because, I mean, man, they need to score some points there. Having some issues making me worried a little bit about that. But I'll say this, and we can talk about that. I can't wait for the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I always have since I was a kid. Sports I would never watch, in like November of an off year or whatever. Don't really care. But I'm telling you, you put on the swimming and divings, I'm like, let's go, Team USA. I'm with it all the way. I love the Olympics. All right, let's get this thing going. Rick in Massachusetts. Rick, what's up?
Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Hey, first-time caller?
Yeah, first-time caller.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say here we go, because I don't think we have the drop right now, but it's okay. But yeah, I know Massachusetts. I think you're the second caller that's ever called from Massachusetts, because this was the one state we didn't have. We finally got somebody from Boston to call, but now this is our second one. So awesome.
I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you got, man?
Well, I just I've joined Storyliners a while ago,
Okay.
I've been listening to the show for the it's 2 seasons now, whatever, 3 seasons.
2.
Been listening to when you're on the break.
Oh, appreciate that.
Right. So just to go, I put it on StoryLine, but favorite wrestlers, Ricky Steamboat and Sting.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta be close to my age then. I mean, if Sting and Ricky the Dragon. Yeah, you're probably getting close to 50, maybe.
Live off of older Cowboy was Bob Brunig back in the 70s. I joined Cowboys Nation in 77.
All right, Bob Brunig. All right, don't hear that one a lot. Don't hear that name a lot. I love it. Underrated player. Underrated for sure. So, all right, Rick, what do you got, man?
Just calling in to get into the thing, and I listen to all kinds of Cowboy stuff locally, whether it be Jeff Kavanaugh or whoever, on YouTube, watch Lombardi and all that. I was happy to get I won a contest with Bonk. He sent me out a Z jersey and a cap.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. What do you think? What do you got for this team? What do you think?
What's up?
What is your thoughts about this team right now? Where do you think they stand?
Well, I'm a positive thinker. I'm always like, let's say, when I hear these people talk about other players saying, they're not going to sign, they're not going to be able. I just give the positive thinking. I'm thinking, I know it will get done. CD will get signed. Dak will get signed. This offensive line is going to be good, gelling good. I think Guyton will start, but I'm not sure when. But I know he will start. Hopefully, it's game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we get somebody, in that defensive tackle area.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, Rick. Appreciate it. One thing that I think you got to remember, too, is when you're talking about what happened last year. I mean, CD, what happens? Does this hurt this team? Is he not here? What are the bad things about him not being here with Dak Prescott? And I think what you got to remember, too, don't forget the part about Zach Martin last year. Same thing. But, when things happen in the offseason or when had injuries happen during the season, what happened with TJ Bass? What happened with Brock Hoffman? They weren't bad. They were able to come in and step right in and play well. We'll wonder why. What do you think was happening when Zach Martin wasn't here? They had some guy. They got a lot of reps. So that's the positive thing that can come out of this thing. What can happen here when CD's not here? CD's not here. Who steps up? Is it Tolbert? Is it Jalen Brooks? Is it Ryan Flournoy? Who can actually come in here and make some of these plays and kind of take advantage of the extra opportunity that they're getting? That's always a good thing. That's something that you got to be excited about as well. All right, Chris, text put the phone number on here again, or so I can throw that back out there. Typically, it's a different phone number than what it's been before. I think our lines are open as we stand right now. We got a few more minutes before we can wrap this up. But yeah, it's that's always something. I'm a positive thinker too. I'm somebody that's going to think of what is the positive news we can take from this. Because I think CD is going to be fine. CD, I mean, he'll get here. Him and Dak, they're going to have a good rapport together. You got to remember, they didn't have a great rapport early in the year. They got it together. Next thing you know, he's setting records. So he'll get here. He'll get here when he's here. Hopefully, and it'll be on good terms. Because he can get a fine. Like the fines for him are, I think it's around $40,000 a day for CD not being here. And then here's the big one though, is like, if he misses a preseason game, a game he wouldn't even play, it's a game check. His salary is like $18 million a year. So I'm not great at math, but I know if it's about $17 million, $18 million, and there's 18 weeks in the season, that's a cold million every week. So you miss the Rams game on August 11th or whatever, you're looking at like $1 million fine. Now, because he is in the first contract, his rookie deal, those fines could be waived. So if they play nice and they finally come to an agreement and all this stuff, technically they could waive the fines at the end. So it may be all for naught there. But as it stands right now, you don't have to do that. All right, 214-387-3776. 1659. I believe that's right. 214-337-1659. I apologize that it's super glary out here. That didn't even look right. Let me try that again. 214-387-1659. I'm going to write this down because this will be our number for the entire camp. And this is the one that we want you guys to send stuff out to us. All right, here we go. Victor in Houston's our next caller. Victor, what's up?
Hey, Nick, I've been listening to you for a long time, since before lunch break. I know you had a couple shows before that.
Before lunch break. All right, Tuesday night at the ranch with Mickey. Mickey never let me talk. What's up, Victor?
Nothing. Me and my dad have been fans of you for a long time, and the Cowboys.
What's up, Victor?
I just want to give a quick shout out to him, George Perez, and I guess my question is, what position battles are you looking forward to? Especially, all this contract talk. You just kind of talked about it. You're going to see a lot of young players get more practice time. So, what position battle are you most looking forward to?
All right, that's a good question. You got another question, or are we going to hang up and listen?
I'm going to hang up and listen. Thank
Victor,
you.
Appreciate the call. Thanks for that. Sounds like first-time caller as well, if at least for first time in a while. So here we go with Victor. All right, position battles.
Thank you,
Center is one where it's like it seems really 50-50. I think about, well, it could be Beebe, it could be Hoffman, maybe Bass will throw in there. Maybe he thinks it's it's a three-person race, and it could be, but that's one where it's really up in the air. At left tackle, I think Tyler Guyton has got to be the guy, and if he struggles mightily, then maybe they'll change it out. But I just think he's got to learn on the run. You're a first-round pick, throw him out there. Now, why you could say, well, why didn't they do it with Mazy? Well, Jonathan Hankins was there, and Osa's there, and Gallimore was there last year. And I mean, you had just way better players, but you drafted Tyler Guyton in the first round because he has a lot of upside, but he's also ready. He'll be ready to go. He's ready to play right now. So I think that's why you got to do it. Now, another position battle I'm looking at is running back. Is Zeke really the starter? Is he the guy? If not, is Rico Dowdle in there about Royce Freeman? Malik Davis. I'll see what Deuce Vaughn's got. Snoop Connor. I can go down the list. Hunter Lipke. And that's going to be fun to watch, who kind of emerges there. And that's one of those things that'll happen in a preseason game because every run out here will be a touchdown. Every run. They get stuffed for a 2-yard loss and swallowed up at by the Osa Odighizuwa's got them, and next thing you know, they still break off and they run 80 yards and mess up the whole drill, and they get back. But that's what they're taught to do and all that. So every play looks like a run to the house. It doesn't always happen that way. So I'd like to see that, who can shed contact, who can make plays like that. Running back is certainly a position that I'm looking at there. And then, every spot has backups there, what about tight end? Tight end's going to be very competitive. I mean, you've got 3 years in a row you had an undrafted rookie that seems like they were a difference maker. Peyton Hendershot a couple of years ago, and then John Stevens was supposed to be. He had a good camp, really good camp, and then he got hurt. He should be back. And then you've got Brevin Spanford, now the rookie from Minnesota. Watch out for Alec Holler. He's from UCF. He's got some skill as well. He doesn't have the same kind of measurables. He's like 6'4". I hate to say that's short. It's certainly not. But, it doesn't stand out as much as like a Spanford at 6'7". But either way, tight end's going to be fun because they're going to be pushing Schoonmaker. And they're all going to be pushing Ferguson. And Ferguson's got something to prove too. Ferguson, hey, great year. You made it to the Pro Bowl. Can you be an All-Pro? Are you on that level? Are you a good player? Are you an Evan Ingram type guy? I forget the guy's name from Knox maybe or something like from the Bills. Are you a solid player like that? Or are you one of those? Are you a guy that are you in the Kittle range? Are you in that kind of stuff? So we'll see what the deal is there, and if those guys will be able to push each other at that position. So that's another position that I'm looking at there. All right, let's go to Randy in Texarkana.
Hey, who's got two thumbs, and glad to hear from you guys.
What's up, man? What's up? I thought you said two phones at first. Two phones. You don't seem like a two-phone guy. Two thumbs. Two thumbs.
Yes. Hey, I've been on the phone. I've been calling and calling and calling, and then I realized I was calling y'all Dallas number and not your new number. So I'm glad you told Chris to put that back up there, or you actually repeated it. So I finally got in.
You know what's really funny about this, Randy, is that I said this to Chris yesterday. I said, you know what's funny? There's going to be some person that'll just be calling there and bothering Jazz back at the office there, just ringing. Someone's going to do that. Why I didn't put that on you, I'm not sure. Because, I mean, if I said, Chris, who do you think it'll be? He'd be like, Randy.
Yeah, that was me.
Randy, what's up?
Hey, you know who else is just like me? You are. There was a tractor driving behind you for the first 10 minutes of this show. You never turned around and checked that fella one time.
That is not true. I checked on it like 8
times.
That
is true.
I looked at it like 8 times. I'm like, what in the hell are they doing? Like 8 times in a row. I mean, I don't understand that part. Is it like, are you fertilizing the end zone? I mean, like what was happening here?
Test driving.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that it's quiet now when we're about to end the show. That's cool because it was pretty quiet for an hour and a half before. But right when we kicked this thing up and the lights came on, and I said, "Welcome to
timing."
So,
yep, and get used to it because it's always a leaf blower guy or somebody like that.
Always and forever. That's it. That's
yeah,
all right,
dude,
though.
I have missed y'all. It's been boring. I'll tell you what. I don't have any football stuff. Let everybody else talk about football. I want to talk about you guys.
Okay.
The little StoryLine deal that everybody's got on the X, Dylan, and he's been kind of walking me through it. I feel like the old man telling the youngsters to get off the grass, because
right.
I couldn't quite figure it out, but he walked me through it. But it is a pretty cool thing to be able to talk to all these people through this. And, we've got the guest from England. He got on there, and he knew who I was and told me not to change a thing about myself. That's pretty wild that somebody in England knows who I am because of me calling in to talk to you. So I wanted to thank y'all for that because that's pretty wild,
Right. Well, I mean, and even if he did ask you to change, you wouldn't.
Nah, I can't. I'm kind of set in my ways here.
Set your ways, man.
Yeah. But I hope for a good year. I hope everything's good. And, when Netflix is going to do a documentary on all of y'all guys, let us see behind the scenes on how y'all put these shows together. They did the cheerleader one that was just on there, and you've seen a million of the football player ones. When are they going to get back there and let us see how y'all operate, what y'all do?
Well, I mean, the
That'd
fact
be
that
pretty
that would be interesting. I don't know if I want to sign off on that. But, I'm kidding.
We do.
Yeah, no. But putting us in the same category as the players and the cheerleaders like that's pretty cool,
Yeah, well,
I don't know if
I
everyone
think
feels
it
the
is.
same way. Yeah. Right now, Netflix is working on Receiver, or whatever.
I already watched that.
Yeah, they got something on Jerry in the works as well. So who knows?
Yeah, he was down here. He was just in Texarkana too, but he didn't drop by and holler at me. So
okay.
I'm mad at him.
Yeah, well,
I'll leave that alone though.
Yeah, there's so much other things to do in Texarkana. You know what I mean? You can't just just do it in one day. I mean, you got to get it all done there. So,
yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, but
yeah. So when I was in high school, believe it or not, I was in radio and television, and that was as far as it ever went. I didn't go to college like y'all did for it or anything, but so I'm interested in it. I like listening to what goes on behind the scenes, what all it takes to get all this going. Because everybody just thinks you sit down and just start talking, and they don't realize that there's somebody that's having to set all that gear up and run a million wires and figure all that out. I think
hold
it's
on,
a
Randy.
good show.
Let me just tell you this. Sometimes two things can be true at once. I said that earlier in the show. I'll say it again, because you're right. I'm not going to name names, but there is like one guy that kind of walks in, sits down, and just kind of starts talking. And then there's another guy that actually puts all the stuff together and is testing things out and doing that stuff. So I'm not going to tell you who's who, but so
I can guess.
Okay, so yeah, there is a situation. I'm not going to sit here and say all this hard work to be done. Chris is like, seriously, dude.
But the one that comes in and sits down and just starts talking, don't you think that person's kind of earned that right to be able to do that?
I think so.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I mean, honestly, I feel like this is what now ask me to talk about the presidential debate. Ask me to talk about all these other things going on in the world. That's not my thing. But I could sit and talk football, and I could do it my whole life, and I've kind of feel like I'm built for this. Now, that doesn't mean I'm right on everything. Doesn't mean my opinion is right. But I can sit there and BS my way through it and talk about the Cowboys, and this is I have the luckiest job in the world. I mean, I really do. I mean, it's awesome. I get to talk to you guys.
I think it's awesome because I do it every day for free, and
squeeze it into your time. That's the thing. Squeeze it into your life with your other jobs and your family and stuff like that, and squeeze your devotion to the Cowboys into it. And I get to do it as my job. I mean, I'm super lucky.
But the difference between me and you though is that I am always right when I'm talking about it.
Fair. I love it.
Yeah. I feel like I'm right anyway. But, all right, man. I don't know. Do you got anybody else online? You need to rush me off?
I actually do, but always fun talking with you, Randy. Make it a habit to call us, okay?
Are y'all going to be a everyday thing?
We're every other day.
Now?
We share. Yeah.
Every other day. Okay.
So, I'm glad you said that. This is not our normal time. We're actually going to go at 8 a.m. Out here. At 10 a.m. is our normal 10 a.m. will be our normal time during the season, and it'll be our time. So that's one thing I do like about. I have to get up at 8 a.m. and do the show, so I'm going to stay on the Dallas, the Central time zone. But it'll be 8 a.m. out here, 10 o'clock Central, every other day during the week. So we're not starting tomorrow. Mick Schatz has that 8 o'clock time slot, and then we go on Friday. And then we'll go again on Tuesday. So I kind of let it be known I wasn't thrilled with the initial schedule that had us starting on Friday and going on Tuesday. So when there was an opening here today, I took it.
Jumped on it.
So, yeah.
There you go.
But, yeah, we'll be going at 10 o'clock Central Time every other day during the week. So and we'll have that schedule on the website for sure. All right, Randy.
Well, man, I'll try to bring the fun. Everybody else talks about football. I don't know if you get tired of saying the same thing over and over and over. So I try to give you a little something different, not just being the same old collar, But
you definitely do.
I got my shirt. I wear it with pride. Love you guys, and hey, I'll try to catch you in Dallas. I'm gonna come on the 23rd because the 24th is my birthday. So I'm gonna try to. Hopefully they'll have an open practice on the 23rd at the Star, and I'll holler at you.
All right, sounds good, man. Appreciate it. All right. That reminds me, though, of our schedule. We do have a cool thing tonight. So this is our first podcast here, but our first, official podcast. We kind of kick it off will be our Camping Out podcast we will do with a campfire tonight at 8 p.m. California time. It'll be 10 o'clock live Central, and on the East Coast, I'm sorry, but it'll all be on demand. If you caught it last year when we had the s'mores and the marshmallows, and it was, Patrick Walker doesn't lose many battles. He lost to a marshmallow that day for sure, and the only winner was the microphone, because the microphone was basically white. Because of his marshmallow. It was awesome. It was really fun, a fun show. We're going to do it again tonight. I don't know if we do the marshmallows, but I know Nicole Hutchison is going to host it. It'll be Nicole, Patrick, Nick Harris, Amber Garcia. The four of them will be on it tonight, and it should be a lot of fun for them. So we'll watch that, and then that'll be tonight's show as well. All right, let's go to Johnny in Ridgeway, South Carolina.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Woo pigs.
How you doing? You good?
I'm good. Hey, just really two things, and I don't think it's much of a secret, but I really think Jake Ferguson's going to explode more this year than he did last year. So that's the good news, I think, but I don't think that's a shocker to Cowboys fans.
Right.
But as far as the CD contract, everybody's so up in arms about, well, why haven't they signed him? Am I the only one who watched that game against Green Bay and said, wow, this kid got out physical and literally shut down? I can't. I'm having a hard time getting that out of my head.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm old school, but, he got pushed around and didn't like it.
Well, it didn't like it and didn't do anything about it,
Right. He didn't even fight back.
Let's be fair. The team didn't. They didn't fight back. I mean, when it was over, And the advanced scouts for the Packers were already looking at the next game and looking at the 49ers, and that's when Jake Ferguson started catching passes and all this cool stuff. But, I mean, they got hit in the mouth, they didn't respond, and they got their ass kicked by the Packers, and they beat them. The Packers were a better football team. I don't care about their record for the season and all that. When the playoffs hit that game, it's all about who can be tough, who can run it, who can stop the run. And the Packers came in there and they dominated that game. They were better.
They did both of those things.
And they were better the next week because the Cowboys haven't shown that they can play the 49ers like that. You know?
I don't know that we would have gone in and played them as well as Green Bay. I actually don't think we would.
And I'm not sure how they wouldn't have had to. You know, the way it worked, they wouldn't have had to play them. If they won, they would have played at home. So they wouldn't have played the 49ers, but either way, they didn't. The Packers, we say it in boxing, styles make fights and all that, and the Packers have a different style that just the Cowboys didn't. They didn't match up well, and that they have to get better at that, and that's what Zimmer's here to do. That's what Eric Kendricks is here to do. This is what this team is here to do, to stop the run and be better, and also run the football.
Don't you think the Joneses feel a little snake bit because they're like, wow, did we really pour all this money into this guy who, okay, I think the critique of Dak is crazy.
Yeah.
But they paid guys early and gotten stung by it, and then they saw what they saw there, and I think that they're gun shy. And I don't blame them. I mean, you're talking about a lot of money and money that's going to take away from other people any way you look at it.
Right.
They're looking at what if I do this and this guy turns out to be that guy.
Yeah,
I think they're legitimately concerned about it,
and they should be. They should be.
Yeah.
Like go. I don't know how old you are and how much you go back to the history and all that stuff. But I mean, Jerry was here, and they weren't paying Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt Smith, they lost 2 games, and the rookie Derek Classic couldn't do anything, and they missed Emmitt Smith, and he comes back and he wins the MVP. So clear value. Dak.
We don't have any Emmitt Smiths on our team.
No, but my point is, what happens when Dak gets hurt? What happens to this football team? Well, they win.
We don't know.
They win with Cooper Rush. That's the problem. They win. So it is kind of tough to say we're going to pay Dak all this money or whatever, because it's like, can they do that without him? Is it worth it? Is he? And yes, he's really, really good. He had a great season, and I know that they want him to be the guy, but it does make it difficult. And also, it's always tough to pay a player for what they're going to do versus what they have done, and when is that cut off there? So a very tough decision. They got 3 of them to make, and then what that does to the rest, I'm not really sure.
Just remember, John Elway didn't win his Super Bowl till the very end of his career, though.
When they got a running game, when they got a really good runner,
True.
So yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, Johnny, appreciate that. All right, we're gonna wrap it up right now because it is time to get this thing going. We got a couple other things that I've got to rush off to. But this has been so much fun. I'm so glad we were able to do this. I can't thank Chris enough for his ability to get this thing going. I know he had some nights here before we even got to Oxnard where he was kind of concerned and how it was all going to shake out. But he can do it. He can fix anything, and he did. He got these 2 lines going. We were able to have a show like we always would. 10 callers right here in the sun. It's been awesome. 10 callers plus the mowers and the tractor behind us, which was great. And that's what happens at camp. This is not our studio. We share. I got guys doing stand-ups over here. I got guys throwing. Hey, this is the way it is. We got to live through it. But it's been fun. Just being out here is great. You guys were amazing, and especially on short notice. Now I know if this happens, I can drop it like that. You guys can just say, boom, I'm on it. So appreciate you guys, Irene and Travis and Rob from Vegas and everybody really. But I'm talking about the ones that have been so committed to us for so long. Randy, I got to throw Randy in there. He's the man. All right, and remember tonight we've got Camping Out. It'll be a late show. If it's past your bedtime, make sure to check it out tomorrow. There'll be a lot of fun. These guys are going to have a good time out there. And then tomorrow's when we start the shows on the rotation basis in the morning here at 8 a.m. Central Time. We'll just stay with Central. No, is that right? No. I'm sorry. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Central Time is Mix Shots 11 o'clock, Talking Cowboys. Got some changes on the lineups this year. I don't know if they've been announced, but we have a couple of changes with the break and Talking Cowboys. Little trade action happening there. They hit the portal and made some changes there. So just make sure and go to the website. We got all the kind of schedules for everyone. All right. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you guys on Friday at 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. out here Pacific. This will be the next episode of Cowboys Storyline. We'll see you then.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?